So there are some new changes to our page designer, and I'm going to walk you through those in this video. So what we're going to do is navigate to our website by clicking on View Your Website on the top left-hand side. Now, one of the things that we have changed is the way you manage your page styles. So in the old builder, what we would do is click on our styles, click on our common settings, and here you would select your accent color, you would set your typography, you would set the background for your pages, and the overall layout of your page as well. In the new designer, we have changed that quite a bit. So you'll click on styles like you did, but here you can see you have a whole collection of styles, and you cannot have just one accent color, but you can have multiple colors. And in fact, you can go ahead and create multiple collections of styles. So here we have our colors. We have our primary color and our text color. I can go ahead and click the plus icon. I can add another color, and let's say that I want to make it a nice light turquoise. I can go ahead and do that, and I'll want to go ahead and rename that to be my secondary color, and I can click and drag that into a different location. I can also go ahead and create a folder. So perhaps I want to have a separate folder for a separate collection of styles, and I can go ahead and do that. Let's say this is style 2, and then within this folder I can go ahead and add other colors and styles. So let's say in here we're going to have red, and let's add another color here and make it, let's say, orange, some kind of orange color. There we go. All right, we can go ahead and rename those red and orange. And there we go. And so you'll be able to access these style collections. Let's just move those into that folder. You'll be able to access these style collections throughout your website. So that's going to bring me to the next section here. So that's going to be our navigator. So if I click on my navigator here, I can then come here and create new pages. So if I want to create a new page, you'll see I'm able to navigate to any page within the system. I can create new pages, whereas previously, if I wanted to navigate to a different page, I would come up here to my page management settings, select the page that I wanted from this drop down. In the new system, we don't have to navigate out of our navigator at all. We can do everything here. We can navigate to the different layers of our page. We can check our components. I'll come back to that in a second. And we can navigate to the different pages. So let's go ahead and create a new page, and I'll leave all of that as is. And then I can drag that page over here. I can go ahead and add a template to this page, and let's add this one here and apply that to our page. We're just going to replace the content, and then I'm going to apply that. And then I can come here to the styles on this page. Let's say I want to change the color of this. I can edit the background. I can come here to my overlay, click edit, and I can select a color from my styles. So let's say I want this to be red, and then I can come back to my home page, and you'll see that that hasn't affected the styles here. If I click on this button and I want it to be a different color, again, same thing. I'll come here to my colors, and I can select from my color styles that I have here. So that is two things. We've got our navigation, and we've got the way that we manage styles within the system. The next thing that we have is components. So previously, what we would do is save blocks. So you could go ahead and make this a saved block template, or you could go ahead and make it a global block. And then that is going to change across each page in the system. What we have now is components. So you can go ahead and save this block as a component. So let's save that as a component. And then when I click here on components, you'll see I've got my block. I can then come in and edit this as a component. And then I can use this component across different pages in my system, well, in my website. So I'll be able to go to another page, and well, let's do that. Let's create a new page. New page 2, save. And then I can navigate to that page, and let's go with a blank template here. And I can come here to my components, and I can just add that to my page. So I can actually go ahead and delete this block. And then I've got that component that I've added to my page. And again, I can come back to my pages, come back to my home page, and you'll see it there. So that is one of the ways that you can simplify using the same block or element across different pages in your website. Another thing that's changed is our layout. So you'll see over here in our page area, we have our default layout. So you can create multiple different kinds of layouts, but if you want to edit things like your header, your footer, or your side panel, you'll come here to your layouts and you can go ahead and adjust these layouts as you see fit. So if you want to customize your header across your website, you can go ahead and do that. So for example, let's just stick with our styles that we've got. We'll add a background here. We'll go to our style colors and we're going to choose our secondary color, and then our header has been customized. And when I navigate back to my page, you'll see that that has been customized there. And if I navigate to my other pages, it's been customized across these other pages as well. Now, one last thing that has changed is our publishing. So instead of just publishing one page, we have a global publish system now. So when I go ahead and I hit publish up here on the top right hand side, you'll see all of the different changes that I have made and all of the different changes that are going to be published. So it's not just publishing the page that I am currently working on, it is publishing all of the pages that I have worked on and all of the changes that I have made on all of those pages. So let's go ahead and hit publish, and all of those changes have now been published and are saved and live. Now, this is obviously not the only place where your page designer has been changed. We've changed the way that you design funnels as well. So if we navigate back to our system here and we come here to funnels, and let's go ahead and create a new funnel. I'm just going to call this my funnel. And I'm going to go with a blank template and just leave that as is. So let's go ahead and add some pages. I've got an opt-in page. Let's call it opt-in, add them to a list and hit save. And we're just going to add a few more pages. So let's add a sales page, call it sales. Let's go ahead and add an upsell page as well. We'll call it upsell. And we'll select our default product over there and we're going to hit save. And then we want to go ahead and send them to a thank you page. And so we'll say thanks. We can hit save. We can also add paths. So let's do that to give you a really good idea of what this is going to look like. So let's add a second path over here. And let's add another page that also says thanks. Thanks to... And actually we might want to add an extra little thing here. Let's add a bridge page. Sure, this is not a very well structured funnel, but you'll get the gist of what I'm doing when I show you. All right, so we've got our funnel built out. Now we want to go in and edit our pages. To do that, we're just going to simply click edit page, and then we can go ahead and start customizing our funnel. So I'm going to go ahead and add a template to this page, and we're going to apply that to our current page. We're going to replace the content and the style. You'll see that we get this warning that says replacing funnel styles will affect the entire funnel. I'm going to show you what this means in just a second. So let's apply that, and then we'll come to our sales page, and let's also just add a template to this very quickly. We're not going to replace the style, and you'll see the style that was applied in our opt-in page over here has automatically applied to our sales page. Now, if you're familiar with our funnel builder, you'll notice that I'm not navigating back to my funnel to go ahead and edit my sales page. Instead, I'm just navigating to the different steps of my funnel here within the designer. So it's very easy for me to quickly go through and apply templates and edit all of the different funnel steps without having to navigate back and forth between different pages. You'll also notice that when I come to my paths section, that these are separated into essentially little folders. So I know exactly what pages are being edited within path 1 and within path 2, and you can have further paths within these paths, and those will be subdivided as well. So let's see what happens if I come here to my opt-in page and I decide that I want to change the style of my funnel or this particular page. So again, you'll see I have my styles button here, and you'll see that all of the colors and all of the heading and text types have been added to the style here. But I can go ahead and change the primary color of this style. And so let's make it purple, and let's come here to our other prominent color here, and let's go ahead and make that pink. All right, so now I've got purple and pink, and you'll maybe assume that this is just going to apply to this page. But if I come here to my sales page, you'll notice that those styles have automatically been changed across my entire funnel. So I don't have to worry about going and individually updating the styles on each individual page. That has been applied to every single page of my funnel. And again, when I go to publish a page in my funnel, I am not just publishing one page in my funnel, I am publishing all of the pages. So if I click publish, that is going to publish my entire funnel. It's not going to just publish the one page. And now there is another thing that has changed, and that is how we manage pop-ups. So you might want to have a pop-up in your funnel. And to do that, you're going to come here to pop-ups, and you can go ahead and create a new pop-up. And we're just going to go ahead and select this one here. You'll see that the style of this funnel has automatically been applied to this pop-up. And we can go ahead and rename this to be funnel pop-up. And then again, when I go ahead and hit publish, it's going to publish the pop-up and any other changes that I have made. So I'm going to publish that and hit save. Now, if I go back to my page builder and I come here to my pop-ups, you'll see that there are no pop-ups here. So your pop-ups that you create for your funnels are going to remain separate to the pop-ups you create for your website. This is going to help you keep things far more organized so that you know exactly what pop-up is doing what and where it's supposed to be. So you don't have to have all of the pop-ups that you've created for all of your different funnels showing up here in your page builder for your website. So we are keeping those two elements completely separate. If you want to create a pop-up for your website, let's go ahead and do the same thing. We'll use the same one. Then I can go ahead and publish those changes, and you'll see that I just have this pop-up for my website. So those are some of the biggest changes that we have made to our page builder, and I hope that this video helps you adapt and adjust to the new features as they're being released to you.